This is part 1 of labels. Specifically, we are going to look at label positioning and styling, as well as server variables. I am going to get started by creating a new project and calling it Margaret's Smart Remote. A side note as I type. Many features of the label will be self-explanatory, so I will point out some things that might not be. When I select Smart Remote from the drop-down in Properties, you will see the dimensions of the project on the right. They are 480 by 800. I am going to leave the default blue-gray background color and click Save. Now I'll go to my new folder and open my index page. You will see the outline of the space we have to work in. Let's grab a label from the component panel and drop it onto the scene. A quick note. When creating a Smart Remote project, the index page will soon feature a representation of the Smart Remote device. So it will appear different than what you see here. Up at the top, you will see a left and a top number. Every object you place on a scene has a position. How far it is from the left side and how far down from the top. This makes it easier to position things and make sure they are aligned. If I click and hold the shift, I can move it 10 pixels at a time. The very left is 0, as well as the very top. If we double-click the label and open the properties, you will see 2 fields here where you can also position the object. You can click in the field and use the roller on your mouse to move it. Or, you can type the number or use the little up and down arrows. All incremental fields in the designer work this way. I am going to put a header centered on the page. One easy way to do this is to make the label the width of the project and position it at 0 on the left. Then center the text. I am going to make a HEOS header. Let's go back into the properties to take a look at the fonts, weights, and icon options. The default font in my designer is Roboto, with a text weight of 300. We think that this has a clean and straightforward look to it. It works well for just about everything. There are some other options available that offer a bit more of a style if you prefer that. I do sometimes use the Oswald font, where space is limited for a label. It is condensed and works well in these types of situations. Now let's look at the icon options. Click the button with the letter I to the left of the field. You will get a dialog box with a drop-down list of various icon collections. If you choose one, a list of all the icons associated will appear in the space below. There is just about every possible icon option available to you. If you don't know which collection has what you are looking for, you can type a word in the field below and then click the search button. When you find something you like, just double-click it. To close, you can click the X in the upper right. As you can see, the name of the icon now appears in the field with a visual of it to the right. If you decide you do not want the icon you have chosen, just click the reverse arrow button. Once you have an icon selected, you have padding and a vertical offset options below. If you experiment, you can find the exact position you would like it to be in. In this instance, I have added the icon to a label that has text. If you increase and decrease the size, the icon will be the size of the font. If for some reason you want to have a larger or smaller icon, just make 2 separate labels. Next, in the alignment section, you have a checkbox that allows you to wrap the text. I am going to check it off and add some more text to my header. When you add enough text to be wrapped, make sure you give the label enough height to accommodate it. A quick tip. Sometimes the bottom of the text can get cut off on letters such as G and Y when the label is too short. This is a common error that is made when new to designing UIs. You will see it in various places from time to time. It's clearly an easy fix. Just below the alignment section, you have the options of transforming your text, as well as making it italic. The last section is for adding shadow effects to your text. It's another way to get a bit more creative if you like. I am going to add yellow for a bright highlight. Just so you can see the effect. In the upper right of the label properties, you will see a field for a label name. Whenever you create an object in the designer, it is automatically given a name or what we call a unique identifier. We recommend not renaming the object. Lastly, for this tutorial, we are going to take a look at putting server variables into a label. Let's put a few more labels on the scene. As I do this, I am going to define what a server variable is. Server variables are a collection of dynamic data maintained by my server, represented by name-value pairs. Unlike static data, such as a label with a fixed value, a MyServer server variable can be infinitely changed. For example, as the weather gets updated throughout the day, this variable will be constantly updated with the new data. When you place a server variable on one of your scenes, it will always show you the most recent value. Let's head over to the MyServer 6 dashboard, so we can look up some server variables. At the top, click the Management drop-down and select Server Variables from the list. Down below, you will see a list of server variables in alphabetical order. Because there are so many of them, we are going to filter the results. I am going to search for weather ones as this is a universal feature of the software that everyone will have. First, I'll click in the name field and type weather with an underscore after it. Second, I am going to click the filter button to the right. When I do this, I will get another filter to the left. When I click this second filter, I will get 3 options for my search. I am going to select the Start With option, as this is a quick way to locate a group of server variables. As I scroll down the list, I am going to look for variables for the current weather. The current weather city is what I want first. If you click on the pencil icon, it will launch an editor. Let's grab this variable by copying it. If I look down this list, I am going to remember a couple others like sky and temp. Now we will go back to the designer. Let's click on the first label. I am going to paste my server variable into the label field. All server variables need to have double braces around them to function. So, I am going to add them here. As you can see, the label now contains the selected city information from the server. Let's add a couple more. We'll add current temperature. Just a reminder, this data will be updated throughout the day as it changes. And now current sky, which is a description of the current weather conditions. I am going to add just a little bit of styling to our weather information. As I work, I want to let you know that there will be a part 2 to labels. In that video, we will go over States, which is under the second tab. This is how we can configure the appearance of a label under differing conditions. Thank you for viewing this tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to our channel if you would like to see more.